Hey friends, Jeff back again from Bygone with this incredibly cool 1993 Ford Bronco Eddie Bauer Survivor that shows just 56,600 original miles. The focus of this video, gang, is going to be going over documentation and maintenance records for the truck. You will notice that at times I'm going to pan the camera away because YouTube didn't like the original video that showed some of the contact info on the maintenance receipts and things like that. Let's begin with some of the documentation. What I always found really cool is that Eddie Bauer editions always came with a little extra gift. In 1993, it looks like they came with tire pressure gauges, which is pretty fun. So that is still with the truck, and the instruction manual that came with it will be included as well. The original bottle of touch-up paint is included, as well as the Magard wheel locks as well. So that's all set. The truck does have all of its original manuals, including the salesperson's card, the original key knockouts, which are pretty cool. I don't see these very often. And then all the individual manuals for the stereo, how to care for the exterior, tires, things of that sort, and then the actual owner's guide. So that's with it. We do have a clear title from Idaho, as well as the original plate frame from Lake City Ford, where the truck was sold new. And how do we know where it was sold new? Well, we went ahead and we ordered a Marty Report for this truck. And I know that some of you might be chuckling a little bit, because these Marty Reports many times are reserved for old Mustangs and Torinos to verify, whether something was a Cobra Jet or an S Code 390 car or something like that. But we always get a kick out of getting these on these F-Series pickups. In this case, it lets us know all the options that the truck came with, and you can see from having the tack to the touch drive, 4x4 buttons, to having a spare tire carrier and the towing package and the rear defroster and the heavy-duty battery and the heavy-duty cooling and leather interior, right? And the Eddie Bauer two-tone paint and all that good stuff. Tinted glass from the factory. This thing is loaded up. One of my favorite things to do is always take a look at the statistics that Kevin Marty and his team puts together as well. In this case, you can see that this truck is actually pretty rare. There were, oh goodness, I don't know if it says on here or if I looked this up, a couple 100,000 Broncos built. And so when you have something that's, one of 4,000 in a particular paint combination, it's pretty rare. Here's the info there telling you, again, that it was sold new out of Lake City Ford in Idaho. And the truck was in Idaho until earlier this year when we made the purchase. We do have a clear Carfax report that will come with the vehicle as well, showing ownership history. Now, after the original owner sold the truck last year in 2022, it did pass hands one time in between and went to another collector out in Idaho who we purchased the truck from. But again, Carfax is nice and clear. It coincides well with the service receipts as well, the maintenance receipts, documenting mileage and things like that. So you can go through this Carfax and sort of watch the mileage go up as it had emissions inspections or went to a dealership or repair facility that reported to Carfax and documented miles. So no funny business This is just a second copy that'll be included. But I always like running these reports if we can. Okay, so here's the part where we're going to pan away. We do have a couple recall notices that will be included. And then we have an excellent set of documents just showing oil changes and really consistent maintenance on this truck. For example, in addition to just oil changes that you always like to see, but kind of just basic. You can see early on, while the truck was still under warranty, that the owner complained about pulsating brakes and things like that. So you can see that different. It had a 4x4 hub service early on. The owner complained several times throughout the ownership about belts squeaking, and I laugh about that because it is so common on these F-Series Broncos and F-150s. I don't know if it's those belt tensioners or what, but gosh, I sure have had my own share of vehicles with squeaky belts. So it had its first belt replaced at 14,000 miles. Moving on, regular filter maintenance. The truck has had fuel filter replaced. Along the way, you'll see a complaint by the owner about a clunk. And I think the dealership made a mistake. The dealer went ahead and replaced U-joints. And right away, I thought to myself, I need to go check this truck and see if radius arm bushings were replaced. And sure enough, I went out and looked at the truck, and the radius arm bushings were replaced. And then I saw a couple receipts later that the customer was still complaining about a clunk, and they replaced the radius arm bushings. And son of a gun, that is such a common issue with these trucks. Even with low miles, the years catch up with them, and those rubber bushings will start to deteriorate. So it's nice that those have been done. You'll also notice that the truck has had transmission fluid and filter changed, front and rear differential service done, and coolant flushes. It's had a couple coolant flushes, and this is what you get for catching me on the spot here, ladies and gentlemen. Transfer case, that's the word I was looking for. So along with the transmission fluid, the transfer case has also had fluid changes as well. As we continue to go through, going back here, looking at miles, at 44,000 miles, the truck had new plugs installed. You can see in one of the pictures, I pulled a plug, and they look brand new. So I didn't see any need to go ahead and replace plugs again. They look fantastic. The truck runs really well. So I left those as is. But they were done already. Here's another belt. So another belt was put on at 44,000 miles. Receipt for a set of tires. Now, those tires were disposed of by me because of age. And I went ahead and put the brand new Cooper Discoverers on there. Those tires have whatever the ride-along video would be, 30 miles maybe or so on those tires. They're brand new. And had new valve stems and stuff installed as well. Battery was just replaced in 2021. And at that time, here's another belt. So, yeah, she must have had issues with belts squeaking. And what I don't see is that they replaced the tensioner. Because I bet you it was the tensioner all along. And they just kept soaking her for belts. But also in 2021, the truck had a new water pump and upper and lower radiator hoses put on as well. And, with the miles, it would have been cool to see those original hoses. But if the owner had come into my shop, I would have replaced the hoses too. So I believe the thermostat was done at that time too. I'll try my best to double check here as we're going. service slip joint assembly. That was done with the U-joints. And then, like I said, a couple other receipts later, it showed the radius arm bushings. So again, this is just so nice to see all this documentation with the truck. Another air filter. Water pump. You could see too in the photos, brakes look serviceable on front and rear. They don't look brand new, but I would leave them, which I did. And again, I thought that a truck like this, not only with the low miles, but the one owner documentation for the vast majority of its life deserved a separate video, sort of going over everything. And if you do have any additional questions about service or something that you feel like I glossed over, don't hesitate to reach out. Happy to help at any time. But again, we're super excited and proud to have this truck available, and we're looking forward to it getting into the hands of a new caretaker. Thanks so much. Take care.